Today we're doing a demonstration of the Van Diemen's Ink Fountain Pen Ink Diluter and Rehydrator. This is a product from Van Diemen's Ink which is for use with any highly saturated inks, and these could be fountain pen inks and dip pen inks as well. And it's for lowering the saturation, lightening the hue of highly saturated or darkly colored fountain pen ink and dip pen ink, and rehydrating inks that have lost volume due to evaporation. Today we're going to demonstrate using a couple of inks from the Van Diemen's Ink Night collection. We've got Aurora Australis here. This is a really highly saturated magenta purple with a bright green sheen. And this is definitely on the extreme saturation of inks. And we'll see a few different colors that we can come out by diluting this one. And we've also got another one here, a shimmering ink, Moonlit Lake. This is a dark green ink with a blue tone and quite a magnificent shimmer in this one. So let's have a play with each of these. So the Van Diemen's Ink Fountain Pen Ink Rehydrator comes with one of these pipettes, and this can be used for measuring out your fountain pen ink, and it also comes with its own measuring device inside for measuring out the diluter itself. It's got instructions on the side, instructions both for ink dilution and for ink rehydration. And I've got here a couple of spare glass ink bottles. Any jar will be perfectly fine. Give it a good clean out and you're ready to go. The diluter contains all the chemical ingredients to make it identical to fountain pen ink in its properties. It's got the same viscosity, surface tension, pH as any fountain pen ink, and it also contains a very powerful antibacterial. So no matter how old your ink is, it will extend the shelf life and will prevent your new ink from going off. So let's have a go. I've got my Rhodium notepad here, ready to go. Let's start with Aurora Australis. So we'll grab this one out. So let's try this in a few different saturations. What we'll do is we'll grab about 2 mils of our Aurora Australis. So there we go, that's 3 mils there. We'll push that down a little. 2 mils. We'll pop that in there. And before we begin, we'll swatch this out so you can see what this color is like in its original form. There we go. We'll give it a bit thicker there so we can see that sheen come up. We'll see that again when it's dry, but we can already see a little bit of that green coming up there. This is a very vibrant ink, but sometimes the undercolor is actually hidden by the green sheen, especially in thick writing pens. And some people might not find that the most desirable. So what we're going to do is add the same amount. We're going to go with 2 mils of our ink diluter. There's 1 mil. That one was a little bit under a mil there, so I'll just go a little bit more here. There's 2 mils of that one. So we've now got a 1:1 ratio of fountain pen ink and ink diluter, and we'll swatch this one out here. And we can already see quite a remarkable change in the color there. Remember that all the ink properties have been kept the same. All we've done is decrease the ink saturation by 50%. Let's see what we get when we double that. So we've got 2 mils of Aurora Australis and 2 mils of ink diluter. I'm going to put in another 2 mils so we can see a a 1:2 ratio here. So we've now got 2 mils of fountain pen ink to 4 mils of ink diluter. And there we go, we're getting much more of that pinky tone and a lot less of that dark purple. So there we go. So we've now created 3 different inks. There you can see that green sheen there, even though it's not fully dry. And our lightest color there is even showing a bit of dye separation there with that blue dye separating from the pink. I'm going to go right ahead here and add another 6 mils. So we now have 2 mils of Aurora Australis and 10 mils of our ink diluter. So this is a 1:5 ratio. And we'll see how this one comes out. There we go. That is a lovely light pinky tone there. Let's show that one up. There we go. So we've got the original ink, 1:1, 1:2, and 1:5 ratio. And that new ink will store for up to 24 months. Doesn't matter when you've purchased this one, the antibacterial properties will keep that fresh for another 24 months. And that can be used in any fountain pen. There are no chemicals in this that will corrode or damage fountain pens, and it will even improve the viscosity of particularly dry fountain pen inks. If you've got a dry fountain pen ink, this will increase its flow qualities. So now let's try for our second one here. We have Moonlit Lake, also from the Night collection. This is another very saturated ink, and we've got our shimmer down the bottom here. This is a shimmer that comes up a little bit blue, a little bit green, a little bit gold, and I'm just going to gently turn it over in the bottle here. With shimmer inks, it's never a good idea to shake them vigorously, because that puts air bubbles into the ink and can really affect the flow. A lot of people find that shimmer inks in general have difficulties flowing, and giving them a good shake is going to make that even worse. So we're just gently moving the shimmers around here. All right, so let's see what this one's like in its original form. See instantly just how highly saturated this ink is. There we go. So we've got another little glass jar here. This one's only about 15 mils, but it's large enough for what we need. And I've given our pipette a good clean out. So let's start again. We've got 3 mils, we'll bring that down a bit there. We've got 2 mils now of Moonlit Lake, and I'm pretty certain we got a good amount of shimmer there. Put the pipette aside, and again we'll go with 2 mils of our ink diluter. That's 1 mil. And 2 mils. Give that a little stir. And we'll swatch him out and see how he looks. We can now see in that first swatch a lot more of that shimmer coming out, and you can see some of the red sheen that Moonlit Lake shows off. And in our second swatch here, it's still a little wet for the shimmer to be coming up, but we can already see a much lighter tone there, quite a nice teal that's showing up there. So once again, let's add another 2 mils so that we've got 2:4, a 1:2 ratio, like our Aurora Australis next to it. bottom tips. Give that a little stir around. And there's our 1:2. Now we've got a much lighter tone here. Yeah, we can start to see some of the shimmer coming up in that second swatch there. And lastly, we'll add another 6 mils of our ink diluter. There we go, so we've got 2 mils of our Moonlit Lake and 10 mils of our fountain pen ink diluter now. So this is a 1:5 ratio, just like our Aurora Australis next to it. So this is our Moonlit Lake in its lightest tone, which is a stark comparison to the rich, deep dark color up here. And we can now see in that Aurora Australis with them all dry, the strong difference there. So that is using the Van Diemen's fountain pen ink diluter and rehydrator to dilute 2 fountain pen inks. Now let's try each of these inks in a fountain pen to show that the writing qualities have been kept exactly the same. So I've got here my trusty Waterman's, which has had a light pink ink before it. So we'll fill that one up with our Aurora Australis mix here. Let's give that a go. So for our diluted Moonlit Lake, I've got here a Pilot Metropolitan medium nib. That's had a little bit of a Blue Jay crown from the Birds of a Feather collection. So nice light blue ink for this pen. There we go, there is our 2 custom-made inks using the Van Diemen's ink diluter and rehydrator. And we've only used about 20 mils today, 10 mils for each one. And again, these inks are going to last you up to 24 months. The fountain pen ink diluter and rehydrator is available from vandiemensink.com.au. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure that you like and subscribe for upcoming Van Diemen's Ink products.